Okay, so what have we won? We have won a 2016 Sport. It's the facelift version. And I just thought I'd run it through with you about what we have. So, yeah, it's a 66 plate with 97,000 on the clock. So it has done its fair share of miles over the years. It's a manual, and the only thing on the additional notes is it's got one key, and that I need to see the images for the transmission type. So really not giving anything away. It's got no V5. Like anything, it is an insurance job, so we just don't really have anything really to go on. So if we click and have a look here, these are the photos that we're going to just quickly run through. So as you can see, front end damage. So it's a frontal. I think it's been stripped of the damaged parts. So it's something that we need to sort out and work out what's missing and what needs replacing. Other than that, if we scroll down, so we've got a few little things here which I think are additional. So I think these windbreakers are additional. I don't think they're standard. And again, trying to look around here, there's a yellow mark here. I don't know if that's because this wing's damaged on this corner here. Doesn't look it. It might just be just some sort of mark or something. I'm not really 100% sure, but yeah. From the back, no issues at all that I can see. So that is good. The only thing that I do find a bit suspicious when I look deep into it is that looks to me like an Arbath badge on the boot. And here, next to the door handles, also looks like some sort of badge. So I don't know if someone's tried to slightly fake an Arbath here, just by putting on some badges. Again, from this angle, it all appears to be good, with no issues, apart from, you'll see it in a minute, the passenger side door handle is missing. So side view, doesn't appear any airbags have gone off. So yeah, we're good on that. They're the rear seats, nothing particularly fancy about that. Then if we look at the frontal of the car, so you can see at the moment the radiator and air conditioning condenser are all being held on with wires. So we need a slam panel. Once we've got the slam panel in place, this pretty much sorts itself out really, doesn't it? I think looking at I could be wrong, but I'm not 100% sure, but the air, we'll have a look. I think there might be another photo coming up. But on the whole, those don't appear to be damaged. Final words. The legs look to be okay, so that's a good thing. TFT speedo, nothing to indicate there's any issues on that. It is running, so that's good. Right, so this is the front. So it's difficult to tell whether that air conditioning down the bottom there is all broken. These things still can run where you've got like the middle sort of sections just sort of slightly missing, but we're going to need to test that. It could be that it has lost its all gas. We just don't know until we get it, but hopefully we might not need anything like that at all. But from the front, yeah, it looks to be relatively straightforward. There is the missing handle, which is in black, not chrome. So that's going to be difficult because there's not many of those around at all. That's your manual gear knob. That's underneath the car. And then this is the driver's seat. Now, to me, I could be wrong, I'm hoping I am wrong, that is not a cut in the seat. I really am. Because there's nothing I can do about that. Literally nothing I can do. It's going to be a big problem if there is. There might be one escape for this, but we'll come to that in another video. But I'm really hoping that isn't cut. It's a really weird position for it to be cut. So yeah. But anyway, diamond cut alloys. All the lacquer eventually goes on them. So yeah, we've got problems on this one. This one as well. That one. So all four need the lacquer sort of sorting out really. Nice, more expensive CarPlay system. It's the original Fiat one. So that's a good one, that one, compared with the previous, which has DAB, but it doesn't have any CarPlay or anything. This has it all built in. So that's a nice little feature to have. The rear headrest, okay, great, fantastic. The roof, yeah, great, again. Windscreen doesn't look to be damaged. Another picture of the gear knob, again, peculiar. And there you have it. So, that is that. Now, if we do MOT history, we'll just quickly run through with the MOT history. It doesn't have the best MOT history. In fact, it only had its MOT the other month. So let's have a quick look at it. So it is a pass. So it has only done literally a couple of 100 miles. Rear subframe corroded. What Fiat 500 isn't slightly corroded this day and age, just the way that it is. Don't have to worry about front headlight damaged. We don't have to worry about the daytime running light cracked because those two are off the car and gone. We have one tyre that's close to legal limit, so might look to swap that out. And then we've got the front shockers that have light misting of oil. Again, this could just be a very overzealous MOT tester. It looks to me like the car's gone to the same place, because look, this is just insane. Oil sump corroded. Again, front shockers, rear subframe, offside rear side brake, service brake binding. Then you've got the brake discs that are warped. They could have been replaced because they're suddenly not appearing. Near side plane steering rack. Again, another year. Registration plate deteriorated. Rear axle corroded. Again, it's just almost never ended. They love a rear axle corroded. I think it's the same MOT place. So yeah. But anyway, that is the car. So that's coming from Bristol. And I say it should be a quick turnaround. Technically, it's just bolting on stuff. But yeah, it's a bit more than that. And I'll explain to you when I come back. Right. So, yeah, it's a facelift. So I'm just rubbing my hands because it's not as easy as it could be. Why is that? Facelift parts. Some things are very cheap. Other things not so much. Actually getting hold of stuff is also difficult. Front bumpers don't come complete. You've got to buy all the trim for that, and there's just stuff that we need to get. I've sort of factored in price, so I roughly know where I'm looking at and where I'm roughly aiming for. But yeah, it's a lot of work to get done and source parts. So this is my plan. From this video, we're going to do a daily blog. So after you see this video, the next day, I'll do an update on what parts I've got, the next day after that, and so forth and so forth and so forth. There is also a hope that there might be some parts within the car, in the boot. I'm being optimistic here, but I'm going to sort of take you on a journey of how much this is going to cost me and sourcing the parts. I'm going to try and do a week of daily blogs for the channel. It's a bit different. And I wouldn't normally do it, but it's just, yeah, trying to find facelift parts is difficult. So that is the plan. So stick around with me, stick around with the channel. Hit the subscribe button to, yeah, be kept up to date exactly what's going on with this car. And yeah, if you have any comments to make about it, please do let me know. It has been a while since I've gone back to Copart to get a car. Normally, we tend to have cars that are, at the moment, are pretty much done, just need a bit of TLC, but this needs a bit more than that. So yeah, so we are now end of August. We need to have the car delivered. We need to start finding parts. I think that's it. So until tomorrow, thank you all for watching. And yeah, come back tomorrow and we'll start on working out what we need for the car and then sourcing the parts. So until next time, see you all later.